Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And filling in for Terry Stiles, I'm Julie Hogan. In this week's news, a women's club is offering scholarships. The court orders another hearing on proposed cell tower, and a class is collecting donations to help rescued pooches.
Stay tuned. Learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. The second public hearing regarding a proposed cell tower in Addison Township has been ordered by the Oakland County Circuit Court Judge. In January 25th, Order Circuit Judge Daniel Patrick O'Brien ruled the Zoning Board of Appeals must conduct a public hearing related to the area around the cell tower in which it could possibly collapse and fall. Verizon Wireless is looking to construct a 200-foot tall collapsible monopole tower in order to provide better cell coverage to the area. The second public hearing is scheduled for this particular issue on March 9th at 6 p.m. and held at the Addison Township Hall.
A zoning error made years ago concerning two parcels along North Baldwin Road is in the process of being corrected by Oxford Township. R1 zoning represents single-family residential zoning where the lots must be a minimum of 12,000 square feet, whereas the SF2 zoning stands for suburban farms and requires lots to be a minimum of 5 acres. Both parcels are currently zoned SF2, which is the result of a mistake, not decisions made by the township, according to Township Planner Matthew Lonerstader. Last week, the Planning Commission voted 6-1 to recommend the township initiate the rezoning to correct this issue.
A 33-year-old Oxford Township man who was previously convicted of rape in another state was arrested for the possession, production, and distribution of child sexual abusive material. Scott Edward Lutz was arraigned February 14th in Rochester Hills District Court on 5 counts of possession, 2 counts of distribution, and 2 counts of production of child sexually abusive material. He was also charged with 2 counts of using a computer to commit a crime. His bond was set at $500,000 and he is currently located in the Oakland County Jail.
2 ponies in need of a new home found one. Thanks to the open hearts and open barn doors at the Pan Equus Animal Sanctuary, they will continue to get lots of love from a little girl who will continue to be a part of their lives. Snowflake and Arthur are the newest residents of the 75-acre farm located on Hummer Lake Road in Oxford Township. Although the sanctuary cannot currently accept new animals due to their full capacity, volunteer Phaedra Peterson said an exception was made for these 2 lucky ponies.
From veterans to children, Pat Bliss can't help but give and give to those around her. It's in her nature and it's in her blood. In recognition of her selfless efforts and tireless commitment to others, Oxford American Legion Auxiliary recently presented the 75-year-old with the prestigious Americanism Award.
Police officers and firefighters spend their days and nights safeguarding the lives and property of Oxford residents. Their hard work and dedication were recognized during a special awards ceremony held Sunday afternoon at the American Legion. American Legion Auxiliary Unit 108 hosted a buffet dinner and presented certificates of appreciation to members of the Oxford Fire Department, Oxford Village Police Department, and Oakland County Sheriff's Office. Sincere thanks from all of us to these wonderful men and women who help keep us and our community safe.
Barb Johnston, 4th grade teacher at Oxford Elementary School, and her 4th grade students are collecting donations for Canine Stray Rescue League. From now through February 28th, folks are encouraged to donate collars, leashes, paper towels, newspapers, peanut butter, not containing xylitol, and milk bones, canned dog food, toys, and flea and tick shampoo. Come on, folks, chip in.
The Oxford Women's Club is pleased to announce their 2018 scholarship program for graduating Oxford students. Winners will be awarded a minimum of $1,000 each. Students must be living within the Oxford School District or attending an Oxford area school. Students only need a 2.0 GPA on a 4-point scale to be eligible. Scholarships are open to students planning to attend 2- or 4-year schools, technical schools, or a program leading to some type of certification. Special education students are encouraged to apply if they're planning to pursue their education after graduation. The scholarship application form can be obtained at the Oxford High School Counseling Department or at the club's website, oxfordwomensclub.com, or by contacting Barbara Kriegel at bkriegel@umich.edu or 248-693-8066. Applications are due to the Oxford High School Counseling Department by Monday, March 19, 2018. And that's Oxford News for this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories and others, you can watch us on our website, occtv.org, on YouTube, and of course, your regular cable channels, Charter 191 or AT&T Channel 99.
Coming up soon, OCTV's very own Cody Wright with the Sports Report, and you won't want to miss Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Julie Hogan. Thanks for watching Oxford News this week.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Are you a movie buff? A gamer? A fan of music? Or do you just enjoy all things media? Then you should watch Media Maniacs on Monday through Friday at 3:30 and at 11:30 on the weekends, right before the all-night movies. Remember, Media Maniacs. They review everything, and they're just crazy enough to do it.
Hi, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Together, David and I host OCTV's weekly show, Minutes by Minutes.
The show presents our sometimes humorous interpretation of what your elected politicians are doing to enact regulations and ordinances that ultimately affect us all, keeping your news closer to home and reporting political shenanigans from Oxford and Addison Township, including the villages of Leonard and Oxford.
Catch Minutes by Minutes on Charter Channel 191 or AT&T Channel 99. Tune in Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. and Saturday, 11:30 a.m.
If you don't have Charter or AT&T, you can watch us on our local website, occtv.org, or OCTV Oxford, Michigan on YouTube. See you there. Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, an atomic clock has been used to take measurements outside a lab for the first time. These super accurate clocks require extreme cold and stability. The tick of an atomic clock is measured by the frequency of radiation emitted when electrons around an atom change their energy states. The best ones measure time with an error of only 1 in 1 billion, that's English. After ticking for 32 billion years, they would be just 1 second off, better than my watch. Christian Listat at the National Metrology Institute of Germany and his colleagues put a strontium atomic clock on the move with a specially designed trailer. It has rubber dampers to mitigate vibrations and climate control to stabilize the temperature. The team used the clock to test for a prediction of Einstein's general relativity, that time moves more slowly when gravity is stronger. According to Einstein, clocks run slower at sea level than at the top of a mountain where the tug of Earth's gravity is less strong. To confirm this, the team took measurements in the mountains of Modane in France and the lower-lying Turin, Italy. Lisdat says they found that a year in the Alps is 84 nanoseconds longer than in Turin. Oh my God. And back on Earth, imagine spending almost 2 hours wallowing in the stomach juices of a toad. Bombardier beetles do just that. They have found a way to escape alive. A swallowed bombardier beetle squirts so much hot toxic fluid into the toad's stomach that the animal is sick, ejecting the beetle to freedom. Shinji Segura and Takeo Sato of Kobe University fed Asian bombardier beetles to Japanese common toads and Japanese stream toads. 43% of the beetles escaped, some after 107 minutes. Bombardier beetles famously produce explosive jets of hot, corrosive, and toxic chemicals from their rear ends when threatened. Reaching temperatures of 212 degrees Fahrenheit, the jets make loud popping noises and generate clouds of smoke and steam. To find out if this is how the beetles escape, Segura and Sato fed single bombardier beetles to toads. They provoked half the beetles to jettison their toxic loads beforehand, depriving them of this means of defense. Only 3 of 37 disarmed beetles survived, whereas 16 out of the 37 fully armed beetles escaped. We showed that the bombardier beetle ejects toxic chemicals inside the toad, forcing it to vomit, says Segura. Bigger beetles survived best, probably because they ejected more toxic fluid and they were harder to digest. Likewise, smaller toads allowed more beetles to escape. In another experiment, the researchers found bombardier beetles are more likely to survive after 20 minutes in a toad's stomach than 14 other beetle species. This suggests they have evolved a tolerance for toad digestive juices. Several other prey species are known to escape digestion. They include snails eaten by birds, mussels eaten by sea anemones, and nematode worms eaten by slugs. Toxins from the rough-skinned newt, for instance, rapidly kill frogs that eat it, allowing the newts to crawl back out again. And in our last story, just 1 in 10 babies exposed to the Zika virus during pregnancy get the brain damage that causes microcephaly, abnormally small heads. Now, there's a first clue about what stops this from happening in the rest, their gene activity. Blood samples were taken from 3 pairs of non-identical twins in Brazil. In each of these pairs, one baby had brain damage and the other didn't. Stem cells were then made from their blood cells and matured into brain cells, allowing research to see how the brain cells naturally differ between the twins. They found that in the babies that develop microcephaly, the brain cells seem to innately make less of these 3 proteins. The genes that encode these proteins are all known to be involved in normal neural development. When the team exposed these brain cells to Zika virus, they were also more susceptible to infection than the ones made from the blood of their twins. It may be possible to use this finding to develop a test for pregnant women that will tell them if their fetuses are particularly susceptible to Zika infection and microcephaly, says Mayana Zatz at the University of São Paulo in Brazil. Zika began causing an epidemic of brain damage in South America after it spread to the continent from Asia in 2013. But cases in Brazil dropped sharply last year, possibly because people there are now immune. The virus has now spread to the most southerly parts of the U.S., with some areas seeing about a 20% rise in Zika-related birth defects in the second half of 2016, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has reported. Wow. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, it's Connie from Connie's Kitchen. I just wanted to remind you to watch us on OCTV and Uverse and
Okay, cut.
this is Connie from Connie's Kitchen at Treetop Lodge, reminding you to watch my program on OCTV and on Charter and
Cut.
Hi, it's Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge, reminding you to watch us on OCTV and YouTube and Charter and
Alright, cut. I think you forgot your lines, Connie.
I don't have lines.
Should have called lines.
Lines, there we go. Lines. Okay, 3, 2, 1,
Here we
me.
go. 3, 2.
Join me here at Treetop Lodge. This is Connie from Connie's Kitchen, reminding you that you can watch us on OCTV and YouTube, Charter Channel 199, Uverse Channel 99. Can you imagine if we had to go through this every time? Yeah, right? Okay, see ya. This is Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge, and I want to remind you to join me here at the Lodge for Connie's Kitchen on OCTV, on YouTube, on Charter Channel 199, on Uverse Channel 99, and enjoy the show.
How's everything going out there, Wildcat fans? Cody Wright here once again to touch base on this winter sports season. It goes without saying that we've had a successful one so far. The bowling teams, both boys and girls, capturing the Oakland County Championships. The wrestling team wins regional champs, which is something we will talk more on next week. And our United hockey team with Avondale is really coming together and developing things like team chemistry, confidence, and with such a short bench, lungs of steel. Both boys and girls basketball seasons are still up and running, so first let's take a look at what went on this last week. Well, all the news can be positive. This last week, both boys basketball went on the road and seemed to struggle a bit. On the 8th, we went to Seaholm. The freshman club out of the gates fell 54-40, JV 56-42, and varsity 72-50. We then turned around and took on Stony Creek on the 13th. Still unable to get out of the hole, the freshman club falls 53-37, JV 57-47, and varsity takes the game into OT, but still falls short 46-44. The girls saw a little more luck, but not on all ends. The Lady Cats were home this week and started off on the 13th, taking on Royal Oak. Freshmen fall to start things off 32-26, but JV comes back with a win 28-14. To end the night off, varsity struggles and falls short 32-28, and then we turn right back around and take on Rochester on the 15th. The freshmen fall again 36-19 and JV 32-18. However, varsity did turn things around and pull off the win. Final score was 40-29. It was senior night, so things worked out well in that regard. And we honored seniors for their time as Wildcat athletes: Olivia Clark, Caitlin Bean, Leela Hayden, and Darian Graves. These girls can ball, and we look forward to following their progress in the years to come. Like I said, they can't win them all, so let's change gears and take a look at the boys swim and dive team, who have had a very successful season this year with a record that comes just about as solid as you can get. We sent 11 boys to compete in the Oakland County Championships. We ended up finishing 19th place with 30 points. Diving senior and captain Mitchell Mulligan scored a personal best with a score of 328.95 and finished 9th place in the county. In the 200 freestyle, freshman Zach Beatty also met with his personal best with a time of 149.63, which finished him in 18th place in the county, and this also moved him into the 3rd place on the Oxford's top 10 of all time list. In the 50 freestyle, senior captain Brandon Powers also scored his personal best of 22.05, taking 11th in the county. This was the 2nd fastest time in Oxford's history and allowed him to qualify for the Division I state meet on March 9th. And lastly, senior Michael Skepka scored his personal best as well of 23.07, which moved him into the 7th place on Oxford's top 10 all-time list as well. This is all great news, and still highlight must be the 200 free relay that was done by Brandon Powers, Garrett Warren, Michael Skepka, and Zach Acton at the Michigan Interscholastic Swimming Coaches Association meet. They ended up breaking the school record and qualified for the D1 state meet with a time of 131.06. Like I said, a lot of positive to focus on this season, so a big congratulations to all the coaches and athletes for their achievements, and the best of luck in these big meets to come, and we look forward to it. Unfortunately, that's just about all. We're about out of time. For any more on these info, on these events and more, go to oxfordathletics.org and check our website out at occtv.org. All of our coverage of the games can be found on YouTube, which you can access through that website. Once again, that is oxfordathletics.org and occtv.org. And that should just about do it for this week's report. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Cody Wright. Go Wildcats.
When it comes to spreading information and communicating, the internet is the greatest thing we have ever come up with. We can connect with millions of people, we can share and develop exciting new ideas, and we can even disrupt entire industries. All this is possible because everything you write, build, or share is free to flow across the whole network. You don't need any special deals or permission to reach millions. The internet has worked this way from the beginning because of a basic idea of fairness that's been named net neutrality. You get the entire internet without any interference, no gatekeepers or toll booths. So the internet is a free market and an open democracy where our choices determine which things spread and become popular. This policy helped the internet develop into a huge part of our economy. But a new rule proposes to end net neutrality and give the power to censor and throttle the internet to companies like Verizon, AT&T, and Comcast. Here's how it works. Cable companies, also known as ISPs, sell us access to the internet. We pay them a monthly fee to get the entire internet. But the new rule says that ISPs no longer have to provide complete internet access. Instead, they'll be allowed to reduce our access and give preferential treatment to content that serves their business interests. Cable companies will be able to block sites, slow down sites, and charge sites fees for faster deliveries. They would become the first internet gatekeepers in US history, able to decide what sites and videos get seen. The economic, cultural, and political repercussions of this are enormous. The internet will look more like cable TV, with only certain sites included in the basic internet plan. For instance, content that companies like Comcast or Verizon own or invest in, like NBC or Yahoo. Startups and small business unable to make deals with ISPs will be relegated to a tier with slower speeds or higher costs. The next thing you write, share, or build will have little chance of reaching millions of people. You'll have to pay cable companies first to do that. They can even block or throttle all streaming music, video, or privacy tools. We'll never know what we were missing. If this is how the internet worked from the start, the blogging explosion that defined the early 2000s wouldn't have changed the face of media today. We might never have seen the rise of YouTubers, Snapchat, the SOPA blackout, Reddit, Bitcoin, Periscope, Candy Crush, or puppy cams. This threat is not hypothetical. They've been caught throttling or blocking Riot Games, FaceTime, Skype, and more, while serving their own content like Comcast's Xfinity Stream TV. The online innovation and creativity of the United States is the result of corporations and governments not having the power to control what's on the internet. They should never have the power to decide the next political uprising, or how we communicate, or pay for things, or travel. That power is ours. This is our internet. Let's use the power we have before they take it away.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, the 2019 Mercedes-Benz C-Class sedan will be powered by a new 4-cylinder engine that is more powerful and more efficient than the vehicle's outgoing engine. The freshened 2019 C300 and C300 4MATIC will go on sale in the U.S. in late 2018 with new front and rear styling, interior upgrades, and the new 2-liter turbocharged engine. Mercedes will unveil the sedan in early March at the Geneva Auto Show. Under the hood, the new engine produces 255 horsepower, an upgrade of 14 horsepower from its predecessor, and 273 pound-feet of torque, Mercedes said. Exterior styling changes include redesigned front and rear bumpers and standard LED headlamps and tail lamps. The C-Class sedan, last redesigned in 2014, also will borrow liberally from the redesigned E-Class sedan that came out in 2016. It receives all intelligent drive branded driver assistant features introduced on the E-Class, in addition to a new steering wheel design with touch control buttons. Buyers of the freshened C-Class sedan can choose a standard 7-inch central display or an optional 10.25-inch display for those who want it. And at VW, as product timing goes, 2018 isn't looking like a great year to tout a pair of new sedans, given that U.S. car sales in January fell to less than a third of U.S. volumes. Yet, after introducing a pair of crossovers in 2017 to bolster a lineup with a shortage of them, Volkswagen dealers will find themselves this year touting a new flagship sedan, the Arteon, and redesigned version of the brand's best-selling vehicle in 2017, the Jetta. The midsize 2019 Arteon, Gran Turismo, and compact 2019 Jetta sedans share the automaker's global front-wheel drive MQB platform, as does the 3-row Atlas and redesigned Tiguan crossovers that the brand launched in late 2016 and 2017. The successor to the discontinued CC, the Arteon is more than 5 inches longer than the outgoing car and is set to arrive in U.S. dealerships in the third quarter. In the U.S., it will have a 268 horsepower 2-liter inline-4 engine mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, making 258 pounds-feet of torque. Volkswagen's platform strategy allows the automaker to save billions of dollars each year by being able to spread cost across a wide range of vehicles, sharing components and technologies either as standard or optional features. The Arteon's interior features a customizable instrument cluster, heads-up display, and a new infotainment system in the center stack with a 9.2-inch screen and gesture control. Wow. Safety systems in the flagship sedan include VW's latest generation of adaptive cruise control, which takes speed limits and route information into consideration and adjusts speed accordingly. It also features a dynamic cornering light system that uses predictive beam control to recognize when a bend is approaching and light the corner before the turn begins. An emergency assist system in the Arteon can slow the car and steer to the shoulder if the driver becomes incapacitated. What else is there? Wow. And the recall front, Ford Motor Company said it's expanding an urgent warning to another 33,000 owners of older pickups in North America not to drive them until they get repairs because of a potentially defective Takata Corporation airbag inflator. Ford in January had urged 2,900 of a 2006 Ford Ranger pickups to stop driving immediately until they can get replacement parts after a second death was linked to inflators built on the same day. The expansion of the warning was prompted by additional testing, the company said in a statement, and now covers a broader time frame of production. Mazda Corporation said it was issuing a similar expansion for about 1,800 2006 Mazda B-Series trucks that were built by Ford after it had issued a warning for 160 trucks in January. NHTSA said that the vehicles pose an immediate risk to safety and asked owners to immediately schedule a free repair. Ford and Mazda have replacement airbag inflators available now and will tow vehicles to a dealership for repair and provide loaner vehicles free of charge, the companies said. About 90% of the vehicles subject to the do not drive warning are in the United States. Ford said last month a July 27 crash death in West Virginia and a 2006 Ford Ranger was caused by a defective Takata air inflator after a similar 2015 death in South Carolina. About a quarter of the